Brighton claim a famous win. Arsenal were a little unlucky with how the ball fell for Brighton's first 2 goals, but the visitors were the better side and thoroughly deserved their 3 points. They did their defensive work well, and seemed the more alert side whenever they came forward. The Gunners huffed and puffed and had a couple of moments, but they looked below their best and made some poor decisions in the final third. Man City now needs just 1 win to secure the Premier League title. Report and free match highlights as Brighton win 3-0 at the Emirates to surely end Arsenal's Premier League title hopes. Second half goals from Julio Enciso, Deniz, Undav and Pervis Estupinan move Seagulls up to 6th, Gunners 4 points behind Man City, who need 1 win to claim title. Arsenal's Premier League title hopes suffered what will surely be a fatal blow on Sunday, with Brighton's sensational 3-0 victory at the Emirates meaning Manchester City can be crowned champions next week. City, who secured a comfortable win at Everton earlier in the day, will clinch a 5th title in 6 seasons if Arsenal lose to Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Any other result in that fixture will give City the chance to seal the trophy in front of their own fans against Chelsea next Sunday. Loading. After City's victory at Goodison Park, it was effectively all or nothing for the Gunners against Brighton, but they were unable to rise to the occasion against a Brighton side that responded emphatically to their humiliation at the hands of Everton earlier this week. After City's victory at Goodison Park, it was effectively all or nothing for the Gunners against Brighton, but they were unable to rise to the occasion against a Brighton side that responded emphatically to their humiliation at the hands of Everton earlier this week. In a feisty encounter that simmered throughout, Julio Enciso struck the first blow when he knotted in Pervis Estupinan's cross from just yards out after Jakob Kiwior went down when Evan Ferguson trod on his boot, which came off. Kiwior's decision to go down split the Sky Sports pundits. "A big strong centre-half, really," said an unimpressed Roy Keane, while Micah Richards insisted it was a foul by Ferguson. The Seagulls then toyed with their hosts, who saw Mikel Arteta booked for dissent as they grew increasingly frustrated, and delivered the knockout punch when Deniz Undav punished former Brighton forward Leandro Trossard's loose pass by lobbing Aaron Ramsdale. Estupinan then added a third when he followed up Ramsdale's weak save by prodding home the rebound and sparking wild celebrations on the south coast and in Manchester. While Arsenal were dejected, Brighton and their supporters will now look forward to the prospect of securing European football and perhaps even an outside shot at the Champions League qualifying spots when they go to Newcastle on Thursday, live on Sky Sports. How Brighton shot down Gunners. With Arsenal attempting to hang on to City's coattails and Brighton eyeing a Europa League spot, both sides knew the importance of claiming victory, and the tone was set within 5 minutes when Gabriel Martinelli smashed into Kaoru Mitoma. Moises Caicedo gained retribution moments later with a lunging tackle on the Arsenal forward, with both offenses somehow not being punished by a yellow card. Martinelli had to be replaced following Caicedo's tackle and was seen in a protective boot at full-time. Trossard came on to replace him amid a chorus of boos from the traveling supporters. The Belgian almost silenced them when he clipped a shot against the bar, while Brighton went close when Ramsdale tipped over Enciso's shot after a sweeping move. Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka dragged shots wide and Jason Steele saved from Gabriel Jesus, but the Seagulls had the standout chance of the first half when Enciso skied a shot despite Ramsdale lying prone after superb work by Mitoma. Enciso did find the back of the net just after halftime, though, nodding in Estupinan's cross as Kiwior hit the floor, with Gary Neville telling Sky Sports, "As a centre-half, surely you just have to stand up and let the attack finish?" The goal increased the heat on Arteta, who had been ticking all afternoon, and he went into the book after one outburst too many, with the reality beginning to dawn that this was the day on which their dreams of a first Premier League title in 19 years would be extinguished. Danny Welbeck and Alexis Mac Allister went close to doubling Brighton's lead as they turned the screw on their hosts, with Arsenal unable to shake the impressive visitors from their groove. Reiss Nelson was summoned from the bench and almost scored with his first touch, but there would be no repeat of his heroics against Bournemouth in this stadium earlier this season. Undav then punished Trossard's mistake with a delicate chip over Ramsdale that prompted De Zerbi to charge towards the corner flag in celebration. The Brighton boss then produced a knee slide along his technical area as Estupinan crowned a remarkable win that moves his side up to 6th and within touching distance of Europe. Arteta, "We collapsed in second half." A downbeat Arteta bemoaned Arsenal's second-half performance, saying, "Today we have to apologize because the performance that we had in the second half is not acceptable." Asked about beating City to the title, Arteta said, "Mathematically it is still possible and this is football, but it is impossible to be thinking about that today. We have to be thinking about the result and the performance we had in the second half and understand why and obviously have a different reaction in the next game. We concede a goal when they are really direct in behind and from there the team had no reaction. Obviously, when you give the silly goal away, the second one, then the team collapsed. The team had no answers. You have to do a lot of good things, incredible things, to be second in this league over the last 10 months, but if this team is able to show that face as well, for sure, there are things that have to be addressed. Relentless City finally grind down Arsenal. Many of Arsenal's fans made their way towards the Emirates well ahead of kickoff, encouraged by the warm weather and the prospect of watching City slip up at Everton. But those hopes were dashed before halftime at Goodison Park as the champions continued their relentless pursuit of a third successive title with their 11th consecutive Premier League win. That incredible run included a 4-1 dismantling of Arsenal at the Etihad, while the Gunners also threw away leads at West